Hey, this is Kevin's Corner, and I'm Kevin Tetz. Today we're going to be talking about Toolbox Essentials, a grouping of tools that will help you get started no matter what kind of project you're getting ready to start. Now, before I go any further, I want to say this out loud. There's no such thing as too many tools in your toolbox, and that's why the Eastwood Company is such a good partner for me and for you to have. They've got enough tools to take you all the way through the most advanced restoration and mechanical projects. But for now, we're going to start over here. Now, a hammer and dolly set is a must-have, and this set comes with its own carrying case as well as all the standard size dollies and spoons that you're going to need to work out your metal, including a great selection of hammers with all the classic designed ends and faces. And this is a great kit to get you started. Now, an auto body hammer and dolly set, well, that's for finessing metal, but you're going to run into situations to where you need to beat the heck out of it. And a good ball-peen hammer is really going to be a nice asset in your arsenal. As a matter of fact, you could probably get a whole set of them, larger the better sometimes, but keep one on hand. Now, there's a lot of ways that you can cut metal, and chances are you're going to need to at some point, but they don't all have to be expensive. Check out this hand nibbler. This is a great tool to have, and it's very simple to operate. It's a little slower than a pneumatic tool, but it really does work well. And if you look real close, it's a nice burlesque edge. It takes a little more time than a pneumatic saw, but it does a nice job. Now, to move up to pneumatic tools doesn't mean you have to spend a lot of money. Check out this. This is an air saw. Some people call it a burp saw because of the sound that it makes. Stupid name, great tool. This is pneumatic, and it's got a reciprocating blade that you can get different thicknesses and different tooth count to handle different types of metal. You're going to see me use this a lot in the Paintucation video series, as well as if you're hanging around me while I'm at my shop. This is a great tool to have and very versatile because the blade is small and you can scroll around to do very intricate cuts. Nice to have. Now, this is a die grinder and an angle grinder set. It comes with the wrenches for tightening up all the collets, as well as the angle grinder and the die grinder. Now, these are fantastic for carbide burrs, but where they really become versatile is when you can utilize all the different twist lock types of abrasives that attach to the fittings. This opens up a world of possibilities, everything from this gasket cleaner to any grit of sandpaper that you can have, and in a moment's notice you can switch sizes, you can switch grits, you can switch to a burr, you can switch to any kind of different sanding device. These are very versatile and you will reach for these constantly. Now, another must-have is a DA sander, or a dual action sander, and Eastwood has just come out with this new palm sander, which in my opinion is the most comfortable DA that you can use. Now, these are used for basically any kind of prep work, anything from sanding, prepping for paint, or for advanced color sanding and buffing and really enhancing the top coat or the surface of your finish. It's got a nice flat surface, it's a dual action, smooth operation, and it's affordable. Now, I would have recommended a set of pry bars until I saw this, and this is kind of like a set of pry bars in and itself. It's got a release tab, it locks and ratchets into different positions, and this guy is essentially an entire set of pry bars in one tool. This is pretty cool. Now, at some point during the course of a restoration or body work, you're going to need a set of sanding blocks, and there are a ton of styles out there, and honestly, you've got a lot of choices. The reason I chose this set of soft sanders to be in my essentials pack is because of the versatility and of the cost effectiveness. I'm not going to say cheap, because nothing Eastwood sells is cheap. I learned that a long time ago. It's cost effective, it's inexpensive, but it's not cheap. And these sanders are the same way. They're made of a high density foam. It's not styrofoam, it doesn't dissolve, but the great thing about these sanders is that there's literally dozens of shapes on all the different blocks. They conform to the surface, and just about any angle, style line, or cove that you could find on a vehicle, you can find on these sanding boards to match. So it makes them a really nice tool to sand with. On top of that, this particular kit that Eastwood sells comes with a good selection of sandpaper as well as a DVD to show you some of the intricacies on how to use these sanding boards. Now, here's something that, in my opinion, is one of the best assets in my shop, period. It's nothing more than single-edged razor blades. I keep these all over the place, and they're very handy from everything from masking to trimming tabs, zip ties, plumbing, wiring, you name it. Single-edged razor blades don't cost you much. They will save you time and money. Another one is a pair of scissors. These cost a couple of bucks at any drugstore, and they will come in handy more times than you'd ever want to imagine. Everything from cutting sandpaper to, well, you name it. A pair of scissors, you'd never think about it, but keep in your toolbox. Now, you can't talk about Toolbox Essentials without talking about safety equipment. It's important. Here's a few items you gotta have. A good pair of leather gloves for handling metal, protecting your skin. Some nitrile gloves that are solvent resistant while you're handling paint and other things that can get absorbed into your skin. Safety glasses are cheap. Your eyes, not so cheap. Get some safety glasses. A good series of dust masks. This is by far my first choice for a dust mask because it conforms to my face and I get a good seal. I'm not breathing in all that nasty stuff. Now, these are not paint masks, but this is a paint mask. This is the Hobby Air system that you can get from Eastwood.com. It comes with your choice of masks, including this full face match, which I particularly like because I can move my head from side to side and I don't have a hood that's following me around. I can see very well out of my peripheral vision here. The fresh air unit itself, you can place outside of your painting area and draw in fresh air because there's plenty of hose that comes with this system. Now, with basic hand tools, some basic safety equipment, and some common sense, you're going to be fine. But please be more careful and be very diligent when you're handling paints, especially paints with the catalyst. Use a fresh air system. I want to be able to do this stuff when I'm old and gray, and I want you guys to be there right alongside me, learning as we go. So be proactive. Go to Eastwood.com. Check out all the great tools and equipment that they have. Build your tools up piece by piece. Eastwood, they got it all.